welcome back to the RC barn. Today we are going to be doing a build for a starter battery box for your starter. You wouldn't realize that something that you might need, but when you're pylon racing, having mobility at the starting line is huge, and having this long cord is even worse. So we're using a 4S lipo and we're going to install this battery box on a Hobbico Torque Master 90. I see these things at the swap meet all the time. The reason why they're nice is they got the flat and 4 posts that you can bolt stuff to, so that's where the battery box is going to live. And as normal, Pylon Racing School is a week away. You're probably watching this while I'm out there test flying the Viper, and I got a week to get ready for it, so I wanted to do this a lot sooner, but the other projects have been keeping me busy, as you would say. So anyways, let's get started on this. So my buddy John online owns Aspect Laser. You can check them out online. This is not a this is not a sponsored video. I bought this with my own money. It was 20 bucks shipped to me. It took about 3 days to get it here. Show you what I got, kind of box it came in. Pretty big box. You can see right there, Aspect Laser. Okay. Pretty well packaged. Lots of newspaper in here. Put that right back in the box. I've already taken a sneak peek at it, but I did not open it. John's got an Aspect Laser. He's got a few laser cut kits that we might try in the future. But he posted this on Facebook the other day on his Facebook page. And give me just 1 second here. I'll grab my knife. And I'm like, I have been looking for something like that for a while. I was going to build my own, but I figured, what the heck, for 20 bucks, I can't really build this on my own, especially with the hardware that it comes with, and it's all laser cut. I think are these the directions? I hope it comes with directions. That's probably pretty self-explanatory. Oh, we got directions in here. So this is what we got going on here. You can see the Hobbico, and this could be, he said with brackets and stuff, this could be modified to use on like a solvent starter and that. There's his website right there. Email address, telephone number. Yep. So what do we got here? Like I said, I've opened it up enough to look. So we got, so go ahead and separate all your pieces. They're nicely labeled. We're probably going to want to, here's E. This is when the first step. Very nice laser cutting. Not a whole lot of burnt edges or anything like that. Just want to make sure we don't break any of these little tabs here. This is his own design. Stuff out of your way here. Yeah, breaking off real nice and easy. They got very, very small little holders so this stuff doesn't fall out of the plywood, which is nice. Don't really expect this to take a whole lot of time to build. Okay. So it says, I'm going to grab some sandpaper. We're going to knock these edges down a little bit. You can see, like, it just leaves a little sharpness there. A couple swipes of the sandpaper and it's gone. What do you guys think of the thumbnails that I've been making? I've been trying some new stuff, trying to get some new people to start watching videos. Hopefully I can get a little better at my production here. Okay, I'll leave the rest of these for later. Step 1, carefully pop all the parts. Foul any, well, he says laser, foul any edges. Not sure what's all got to be rounded here. Probably pretty much just got to hit those areas there where the little tabs were at. I don't know if you can see that or not. There you go. And just a couple swipes of the sandpaper and they're gone. Okay. This guy. And this guy. And I think this guy's got to get popped out. I don't know if we use that or not. Set it aside. That's probably for the lead to come through. Okay, so we're going right into hardware. Okay, using a 440 by 1/2 inch Allen bolt, number 4 washer, and 440 blind nut. Sink the blind nuts to all 4 parts of the ease, which is these. So we're looking for the bigger ones. I think this is all 4 440 Allen bolts, 4 440 quarter head button head screws. Yeah, it's all 440 hardware, so that's nice. So a little trick that you can do. I don't think it really matters which direction these go in. Get them started with your thumb. It's like sinking blind nuts into a firewall. Okay. The holes seem to be extremely well seated. Like, I don't need to run a drill bit down through these at all. Can't be scared to give it a good smack. Ooh, what was that? Oh, I know what that was. Make sure you ain't got nothing loose sitting on your thing there. Okay. We're framing the box at this point. Construction glue B, C, and D's together using medium C. I use SIG glue in the corners. Use kicker to set glue. So we need B, C, and the D's. So these probably only fit in one way. Where's my other B? Right here. He's got the Flightline Hobby. That's his hobby shop that he ran. He has retired from that, from what I understand. So assuming something like that. Get a little process here going. I think we'll do the sides and then bring the short sides in. We'll flip the letters so they're kind of inside, like that. Get some CA here. I don't use kicker because I think it makes the glue joints get, well, why not? Put another hole in. Let's see. Yeah, there might be enough left in there to glue this up. My flight box is, and I'm going to probably need a 90 to make sure everything's square. My flight box was, I was going to epoxy it together because it's all plywood like this. No, way too much. Perfect. Just kind of line things up here. Make sure they're straight. Everything's lined up. Make sure you glue it to your yeah, make sure you glue it to your workbench here. I should have probably grabbed some wax paper. Pretty good. Are we square? Yeah, pretty good. I'm gonna grab a little bit of wax paper, I think. Hold fix. Too much crap. Alright, I have some wax paper underneath there. I do not. Oh, there it is. Okay. This one's next. We'll go on that tab there. The instructions seem pretty straightforward here, so just gotta make sure everything's lined up nice and straight here. That way everything else will fit in its place. Okay. And this guy's gonna fit in here. We'll test fit it first. Oh yeah, nice and tight. Okay. So we need to glue the bottom here up the sides. And because we've already pre-fitted our other sides, this just gets snapped into place. And we'll do the other side here. Which way's top? Do you have any pictures? Oh, no pictures. So these go in here, like that, I'm assuming. And that's what gets attached to this. That is not going to line up. Well, here's our first. What do we do? He said it was for the 180 and not a 90, so how's the... Assuming the battery goes in like that. That goes out the back. This goes in here like this. Are we missing a piece? What's this for? Huh. It would appear that there's supposed to be another piece on the bottom. Where's A come into place at? Maybe these are supposed to go into the corners. But I don't understand why they would have that. Unless these... Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay. I see what he's got going on here. Duh. There, so that goes on there. And then this is your top, so you can remove this and your battery comes out with it. And the battery gets laid in here. And then these are the holes to attach your battery. I'm assuming with these screws here. All I was left to do is tighten the battery cover with the 440 button head. So those are the outside. So these go in here. And will they... Okay. So we're going to have to get a little creative with this to make this thing fit that. So I'm going to do that before I glue the side panel on and line this stuff up and try to transfer punch these holes into here. I think I can get one to line up. Well, those two will. These back two won't. So I'm going to have to get a little creative to get this battery box hooked up. So I'm going to stop it here for a second, and when I get that figured out, I'll show you what I came up with. Alright, so what I did is I bolted this whole thing onto my starter. Okay? Because these two bowl holes up here lined up. You can see them right there. And then I was able to snake my smallest Allen around the backside here and put a little divot in there and mark those two holes. Now I went a couple sizes bigger to allow me some flex in case I'm off a little bit, but for the most part that'll be just fine. So what's next? Side box. Let's go ahead and test fit this into position. I think it goes like that. That looks really good. That side, back sides of those need to be glued together. Oh. Needs to go like that. Make sure we're getting his label outside. Of course, if you didn't want to have it outside, you could glue it to the inside of the box. I almost made a mistake there. Okay. Let that sit up and cure a little bit. And then these guys, now he said to epoxy them. I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, they fit pretty nice. I don't think I'll have to clamp all this together. Well, I actually go the other way. Like that. Yeah, all this stuff fits. This one's a little loose, but that's okay. A little bit of epoxy. Let's get do I have any 15-minute epoxy? I think I do. I just got to find it. Yep, there it is. Okay, we're gonna need a brush for this. Brush. I'm gonna mix quite a bit up here because I want to get use one of these little bits here for mixing the epoxy up. Okay, take all these off. Mixed up plenty of epoxy here, so basically what he wants you to do is go in here and throw some epoxy into the corners, probably just for a little bit of extra additional support here. This thing is super well thought out. My only concern is that I wish he would throw some basic pictures into the directions, but we were able to figure it out as to how everything went. A little dry fit up here and there, not a problem. Want to try to avoid getting epoxy into the holes there. I'll go ahead and throw some epoxy there on each one of these corners here. Probably don't need that much. Okay. There we go. I'm assuming all this is going to line up. It looks like it will. Oh yeah, that's the bottom plate. And then we'll take the excess epoxy here and we'll run it down in the corners down here in the bottom. If I don't get all the way around, I'm not too worried about it. Let's get some in there. Okay, so now we got to let that dry up, And but yeah, it's looking pretty nice. I know it's just a plywood box with some holes drilled in it, but I'm gonna let that dry for an hour or so, and then I'll bring it back for some final assembly, and we'll talk about finish. All right, she's pretty much all finished up here. I spent a few minutes on the sander, sanding some of the glue off and that. I'm gonna stain this like I've done all the rest of my flight box stuff. I'll use that black stain. I still got to sand the bottom a little bit, but it doesn't really require a whole lot. The biggest thing with the stain is making sure you get all of the CA glue off of it, because it'll really distort what the finish looks like. So I'm just going to stain it with that black Minwax that I got. I don't remember what color it is. I'll let that dry, and then I'll rub on or put some polyurethane clear over it to protect it. I got to remove the bottom box, but that's just screwed on real nice. I did it all together so that way I could radius my edges. You could spend as much time as you wanted to on this and make it look really nice. And that I like the way this looks now. So the next thing here is to do that, and then once all that's done and dried, I'll go ahead and get it bolted back to our starter here. And then I don't know how much of this I'm going to show, but obviously need to reduce the amount of lead we got here. So I got to figure out how this was soldered on to begin with. I don't remember doing this. So I got to remove all this. I'm going to have to take the back plate off, because since it's coiled, it's going to be hard to tell which side's positive and negative. So that'll be easy to determine inside the starter box here, or inside the starter. Once I get that far, I'll probably, he said about 4 inches. So, you know, I'll do a couple inches here and a couple inches here, and then put a joint back in here. And then this just fits in here. And then you take the enclosed, here it is. You take the enclosed Velcro that he gives you, attach that to the battery, put that up inside there so it's held. He said the only reason why you got to get inside of it is to charge it, to balance charge it, because the balance leads inside. I don't know if a guy wanted to, you could put another hole in here to stick the balance lead out, but you want to remove batteries anyways when you're balance charging them. But yeah, pretty nice little project here. Only took a couple hours to really throw it together and wait for some epoxy to dry and stuff. But, you know, it's a nice addition to the fight box. So anyways, I'll probably bring it back when maybe when I get to this point here, so I can show you this thing, the inner windings of this. You'd probably have to do the same thing, because yeah. Anyways, video doesn't really show positive and negative on the outside anyways. So I'll cut that cord, we'll get the battery in there, we'll get it all installed. I'll bring it back when she's all finished. So yeah, I'll bring it back here. What a nice box this was. This was a lot of fun to build. You can see the flight line. I do have a few little touch-ups to make that I didn't get. I'm going to let the rest, it's still a little, yeah, I got a little impatient to put it together. But what a nice unit. It's portable. It sits on its own now. I don't have to worry about it flopping around on the workbench. So yeah, I would highly recommend this. Didn't really have any problems assembling it. A few pictures would have been nice in the directions. That was my only kind of downfall. You know, he could have thrown, you know, a picture or two on here. John, if you're watching, you might want to do that. At least, you know, like a picture of it assembled, you know, with the boxes like up to, you know, this part, maybe with the, you know, where the 440 go, or where part E's go. That would have been a little nice to have. Just saying. I got a 4S in here. There's tons of room in here. I might actually pack it with a little bit of foam if I have problems. I got it stuck to this top part here. So if it starts falling off or wobbling around, I might pack a little foam. There's quite a bit of room inside there, believe it or not. So the button head screws were a nice touch. I couldn't get the other 4 washers on the 440 screws that hold the box to the starter. I don't know if it swelled up after I stained it or whatnot, but it was just a tad bit too, the screws were just a tad bit too short. So I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm pretty easy on my equipment. So yeah, nice little unit there. So the only thing, if nobody's ever put a lipo on one of these, this is a 14.2 volt lipo, and so it's just a little bit more than 12 volt. It does give you a little bit more power. You just got to be careful with how much you run the lipo down, because this does not have a lipo protection on it. So if you kill it, you could smoke the battery, it could catch fire, that things could happen. So you want to keep an eye on it. I usually charge mine every few weeks or so, and you know, check the battery once in a while too, to see how the balance is doing. You don't want to get them too low. 3.7, 3.8 volts per cell is usually ideal. So that's the only thing I got to say about, you know, putting a lipo on this. This thing's been on here for, well, I think I did this last year. So and I'm pretty sure this was Dad's starter, so he was probably doing it for a while too. And yeah, so anyways, go ahead and check out where is it? This is made for a 180, so if you buy it for the 90, you're gonna have to move the bolt holes. That was the only thing I had to do. But go check out aspectlaser.com. And John, thanks for the product and the fast shipping. If you're watching this, I do appreciate it. So anyways, we'll talk at you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.